Coming up on AgweekTV, corn and soybeans are taking center stage as harvest wraps up. We'll take you to a unique North Dakota business that processes flax and other specialty crops, and now hemp. And questions are being raised about missing and dead animals near the Dakota Access Pipeline Protest. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Shauna Olson. As harvest wraps up around the region, we're getting a better picture of the bottom line. It looks like corn and soybeans are the big winners this year. We begin with Jonathan Knutson.
Soybeans are one of the area's most popular crops. They're especially popular this fall thanks to outstanding yields in much of the area. We talked today with one soybean farmer who enjoyed a tremendous harvest.
Imagine if we were looking at average yields this year. I mean, what if we would have got 45 bushel wheat instead of 60? Even on the canola, we ended up 2,200 pounds, something like that. What if we had 1,500? And so I think that to get these good yields, it is going to make the difference for a lot of people, and I think for me included.
But crops, maybe soybeans might end up being the most profitable at this point? Or?
I would guess so. But like I said, we'll see how the corn comes in.
Last year, Huso's yields were hurt by too little rain in August. This year, in contrast, too much August rain hurt some soybean fields not far from his farm.
I feel very blessed to have the yields that we've had, considering not too far away. It's going to be soybeans aren't going to be the savior for some people up there.
Yields on lighter, sandier ground were really good for Huso. That's true elsewhere too.
I mean, down towards Cooperstown, in some of that area, Binford over there, some sandier ground, they've got some pretty high soybean yields.
Not all soybean farmers had a good crop this year, but those who did will have a little less financial pain. For Ag Week, I'm Jonathan Knutson.
Lifelong farmers are calling this their best corn crop ever. Ty Philly checks in from the Hillsboro, North Dakota area.
It's a busy time of year for corn growers like Tim Kazette from Hillsboro. North Dakota's 400+ million bushels
it's some big numbers.
Aren't going to harvest themselves.
I mean, it's numbers that we've never seen before.
What's causing the huge corn crop?
I think really it's Mother Nature.
Farmers say the especially rainy, humid summer months
The quality of the grain is really good this year.
mean more corn come October and November. Thanks to the great growing conditions, North Dakota's corn production is expected to be up as much as 30% over last year. In 2015, North Dakota harvested 327 million bushels. This year, the USDA is projecting well over 400 million.
We've seen farmers that are anywhere from 20 to 50 bushels per acre better than their previous record crops that they've had.
And there could be upwards of another 35% over and above what we're usually seeing.
Kazette says with corn prices low, many farmers needed the record yield.
Really helped a lot of people. There's two things that we get paid on, and it's bushels and price.
Historic crops are great for farmers and consumers alike. Ethanol producers say a steady corn supply could mean shelling out less at the pump. Gasoline is usually cut with corn-based fuel.
Again, we're one of the cheapest molecules you can put in your fuel tank. Right now, I'm selling my ethanol for $1.50 a gallon.
While farmers are hopeful projections hold true, for now,
It's been a grind.
it's time to continue harvesting.
Nationwide, the USDA is expecting a record 15 billion bushels to be harvested. Sugar beet growers for Mindak Farmers Co-op Wahpeton saw another record year, but that means 12% of the crop will be left in the field. Mindak told shareholders there will be no toll agreement with other processors for its excess beets, so farmers are harvesting 88% of their contracted acres. Mindak's total crop is 3.25 million tons, up from the 3.1 million ton record set in 2010. About 448,000 tons of beets will be left in the field. This week's Crop Stop takes us to south central Minnesota, where soybeans are the star this year. Most fields in the Wilmer area had good yields. Some were too wet, but overall, crops were some of the best they've ever seen.
Overall, this year was a tremendous year. Wheat was above average, but excellent protein this year. Corn and soybeans both are coming out extremely strong. Sugar beets are doing very well. Was suffering on the sugar a little bit. The excess rainfall did make it a challenge, and some fields did suffer because of especially the August rainfall that we had. So we had about 10 inches in August, and that really hurt some areas.
Fussy says they're going into the winter with excess subsoil moisture, which could be a problem in the spring. South Dakota finally had some cooperative weather this week for harvest. Rain has kept many out of the fields in the southeast, so corn and soybean harvest is behind schedule. But as Michelle Rook reports, the harvest is also being slowed by extra bushels.
Farmers here in South Dakota are harvesting another big crop this year, but the season hasn't been without its challenges. In the southeast, it started with planting delays, and now a wet fall has turned this into one of the latest soybean harvest seasons many farmers can remember.
So we're just kind of having a reflection of what happened this spring with being 10 days to 14 days behind, and that's kind of about where we're at right now with the soybean crop.
Despite that, farmers like Jim Petrick have been pleasantly surprised with yields that are slightly above average.
On this neck of the woods here, soybean yields have probably run from 45 to as much as 70 bushels an acre, so pretty solid.
With the delayed soybean harvest, many farmers switched to corn, and even with some drowned out spots, corn yields are at or above average.
We've taken out some where your drainage is a nicer layout for it, and you get in the plus 200s there.
In contrast, harvest has been running ahead of normal in northeast South Dakota, with most soybean yields above average, despite hot, dry growing conditions.
Even with the dry June and July here, we had a lot of beans in the high 40s to mid 50s, so it was a real pleasant surprise.
And even his cornfields that were hit by hail are yielding above what he expected.
We've had anywhere from 90 to 190 here on our farm, and the high end of that is way above our average, so it's very nice to see that.
So while South Dakota farmers won't beat last year's record production, despite all the challenges, they may be close. I'm Michelle Rook reporting for Ag Week.
Up next on AgweekTV, the search for answers about missing and dead animals near the Dakota Access Pipeline Protests. Where do you go for the latest news in agriculture? Agweek Magazine. Reaching over 30,000 farmers and ranchers in North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, and Montana. Agweek provides the most up-to-date information on the markets, the trends, and the people who make it all happen. We're your source for news, not fluff. Dependable, trusted. Agweek. Subscribe today by calling 1-800-811-2580.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
The American farmer. You nurture the land, the livestock, and the future of agriculture. Nationwide and your local On Your Side Farm certified agent stand with you to help protect your farm and ranch operations. We're in this together.
I've been working with farmers and ranchers for over 30 years, and I understand the demands and risks they face. It's important for me to build a personal relationship with each and every customer. It's what I do. I'm Ray Trudeau, an elite farm certified agent, and I'm on your side.
Make the
the ultimate upgrade this harvest with Goodyear LSW tires. LSW improves your footprint by up to 37% and gives you the ability to carry larger loads at lower inflation pressures, reducing soil compaction for a better yield next season. LSW tires are proven to reduce road load, making sure you can run at full speed from field to field, expediting your harvest. Visit your local Graham Tire to make the switch. When you reap the benefits of LSW tires, you'll know you're in Graham country.
The killing and wounding of cattle and horses is one of the most emotionally charged incidents associated with the Dakota Access Pipeline Protests in Sioux and Morton counties in North Dakota. Authorities are investigating, but the facts in the situation are hard to pin down. Rancher Jack Thomas says protesters from the Sacred Stone camp adjacent to his land are responsible. But Ladonna Brave Bull, who started the camp, says she's skeptical about the killings. Mikkel Pates traveled to Standing Rock to investigate.
We lost 7 cows and 2 horses so far.
Rancher Jack Thomas has lived in the Cannonball area all his life, and he says he's never had anything happen to his livestock before the Dakota Access Pipeline Protests started.
We're still missing 20 to 25 cows, and we don't know where they're at. They ain't accounted for, and we can't find anything.
Thomas says he doesn't have any suspicions about who did it. The brand inspector and county sheriff and even the FBI are investigating.
The only concern I got is with my livestock. It's my livelihood. That's what I take care of my family with, and that's what we survive on, and that's all I want is them to leave things alone.
Ladonna Brave Bull Allard owns the land Thomas is leasing for his cattle. It's adjacent to the Sacred Stone camp, which she also started. In July, she asked the BIA to cancel Thomas's lease because her family plans to develop a cultural camp there.
The cattle has never been in my camp. They have never come down into the camp. They are on top of the hill in the land. They are in the road.
Brave Bull says she runs a peaceful prayer camp with no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. And she says most people there are vegetarians, so would not be slaughtering animals for food anyway.
No offense to anybody, but most of the people at my camp are non-Indians. Majority are city dwellers. They are not the type of people that go out and kill and butcher animals.
Can you think of why someone would report missing cattle if they didn't have missing cattle?
I have no idea.
Mikkel will have much more on this story in Monday's AgWeek magazine. Will the weather hold on as harvest wraps up? Your agri-weather forecast is next. And later, we'll show you how hemp and flax are being turned into healthy food ingredients.
For home delivery of AgWeek, log on to agweek.com or call 800-811-2580.
Where do you go for the latest news in agriculture? AgWeek magazine. Reaching over 30,000 farmers and ranchers in North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, and Montana. AgWeek provides the most up-to-date information on the markets, the trends, and the people who make it all happen. We're your source for news, not fluff. Dependable, trusted, AgWeek. Subscribe today by calling 1-800-811-2580.
We taught him how to hit a baseball. How to hit a receiver, the strike zone, the net. You taught him how to hit the upper corner. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Commitment. You need it to succeed on the farm. It's total dedication to the land, family, and community. It's more than a way to make a living. It's a way of life. You've had it since the first time you ran your hands through the soil, helped bale hay, or rode along in the combine. Your commitment It's as strong as your family's trust, as honest as each long day you put in, and as pure as the opportunity that comes with every tomorrow. It's how we build our bins. With proven design, superior structural integrity, a lifetime warranty, and a promise to stand with you, no matter what storms come your way. The harvest will always be protected, so you can sell when it's right for you, your family, and your farm. Commitment. It's why we can say, there's nothing standard about superior.
Weather portion of Ag Week now as we get on into the fall season's third month. The month of November begins. It's still a warm weather pattern for most of the agricultural sections of the United States, Northern Plains, Corn Belt in particular. At least it's gone a little bit less rainy for the time being. No real winter weather into the United States yet. It has snowed in Alaska. Other than that, stray flurries and mountain snows, but nothing really into any part of the Farm Belt. But there are some signs that before winter is over that our weather pattern will be turning. Now, as we've gone through the fall season so far, first of all, obviously, most of the Northern Plains, upper Midwest has been wet. But for the purposes of this particular outlook, it's also been mild. With the jet stream, all of its meanderings, it has still mostly stayed pretty far north of the United States, and that has kept much of the lower 48 into a generally warm weather pattern. A lot of records, a lot of near records, a lot of consistently mild weather through September and October. Up in Canada, it has been much cooler, although not unusually cool at all, just a little more typical, but Canada has not seen any Arctic air either. But it has been cold enough for snow. As of late this past week, the white shaded areas are where there is snow on the ground. And as you can see, it's not that many 100 miles north of the United States, but it's up there. Interestingly enough, the snow has actually gone very deep up in Siberia. There's been a train of deep low pressure systems which have worked up through the Bering Sea and into the Arctic Ocean. I talked about this last week. Circulation around that has pushed a lot of moisture-laden air off the widely melted Arctic Ocean across Siberia, which has provided some deep snow cover, and that in turn has created the scenario for some very cold temperatures across Siberia. But before you panic, that's not coming our way just yet. For the next couple of weeks, the pattern will likely remain quite mild, but as we get toward late November, it is apparent and likely that the jet stream will switch positions and we will get some pretty cold weather our way. Meantime, this week, split flow in the jet stream. The cold weather is way up north. We're looking at some pretty dry weather. One area of significant rain will move out of Texas toward the Mississippi River Valley and hang out and produce some heavy rainfall. Also, the Pacific Northwest looks fairly wet. We'll stay mostly warm and dry across the Northern Plains and fairly mild throughout the Corn Belt as well as we go through the week. Into the second week, November 13th through 19th, there will be a gradual shift, but we're not really going to see the Arctic air coming down just yet. It will still be warm and dry across most of the U.S. So here's what we're talking about. Early November, mild weather continues. At least it's not so rainy, but winter is coming probably in about 3 weeks or so.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. This is unacceptable, and something Feeding America is working to solve. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States, including yours. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Where do you go for the latest news in agriculture? Ag Week magazine. Reaching over 30,000 farmers and ranchers in North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, and Montana. Ag Week provides the most up-to-date information on the markets, the trends, and the people who make it all happen. We're your source for news, not fluff. Dependable, trusted. Ag Week. Subscribe today by calling 1-800-811-2580.
You make me wear my bike helmet. Taught me never to run with scissors. And to follow the swimming rules.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you.
Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
The American farmer. You nurture the land, the livestock, and the future of agriculture. Nationwide and your local On Your Side Farm certified agent stand with you to help protect your farm and ranch operations. We're in this together.
I've been working with farmers and ranchers for over 30 years, and I understand the demands and risks they face. It's important for me to build a personal relationship with each and every customer. It's what I do. I'm Ray Trudeau, an elite farm certified agent, and I'm on your side.
Make the ultimate upgrade this harvest with Goodyear LSW tires. LSW improves your footprint by up to 37% and gives you the ability to carry larger loads at lower inflation pressures, reducing soil compaction for a better yield next season. LSW tires are proven to reduce road load, making sure you can run at full speed from field to field, expediting your harvest. Visit your local Graham Tire to make the switch. When you reap the benefits of LSW tires, you'll know you're in Graham country.
North Dakota's first industrial hemp crop is harvested and ready to be processed. The entire crop is going to one location. Our Ag Week crew headed to Carrington, North Dakota to see how the product will be turned into healthy food.
It's probably about 280 degrees.
Roger Gushis owns Healthy Oilseeds in Carrington, North Dakota. He's ready and equipped to process the 80,000 pounds of hemp raised this season in the state. He normally processes specialty oilseed like flax and borage. 80% of his business gets exported to about 18 different countries.
Our most popular product is probably getting to be flaxseed oil, golden flaxseed oil. We do a lot of that.
That's what he's processing here. The flax is mechanically pressed. Out comes the meal, or the cake, and the oil. In the next room, it's a different process. Roger, what's going on in here?
We're doing milling in this room here. We're producing a flax flour, either from brown flax or from golden flax, and it's going to be used as a bakery ingredient for either bread or any type of baked goods.
Gushis says he'll soon wrap up this flax and move on to the hemp. I see them all the hemp in bags and ready to rock and roll here.
This is some of it. We have some stored in some benzo too, but this is a fairly large amount in tote bags.
Gushis grew a portion of the crop himself.
It's nice hemp and beautiful hemp, and it came off very clean. Ours came off at 99% purity, which was excellent.
Hemp has thousands of uses, including food, so I decided to try it as is.
I think it tastes great.
Oh yeah. Very earthy.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. Mm-hmm.
The last stuff I had was covered in chocolate, so I couldn't get a real good sample.
If we roast it, putting it on a salad, I think you'll really like that.
Gushis has plans for this crop other than eating it plain, though.
Hemp will be processed quite very, very similar to this. Maybe some little bit of tweaks with the machines, small little adjustments, but that's it. And it's about the same thing. We plan on doing crushing some of it for oil, hemp oil, and then we're going to have the byproduct of the hemp cake or the hemp meal, and then that we're probably going to produce a flour out of that. Plus also we'll just do whole crushing of hemp seed for flour, and then we also will do some roasting of hemp seed and market in different ways.
Some of the hemp will be exported and some will stay in the U.S.
One of the companies I work with, they want to start producing a hemp pancake.
Oh.
Hemp pancake mix anyway.
Gushis started Healthy Oilseeds in 2002, but this is the first time he's processed hemp. Still ahead on AgweekTV, even in a tough ag economy, the experts say there are plenty of jobs available. Where do you go for the latest news in agriculture? Agweek Magazine. Reaching over 30,000 farmers and ranchers in North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, and Montana. Agweek provides the most up-to-date information on the markets, the trends, and the people who make it all happen. We're your source for news, not fluff. Dependable, trusted. Agweek.
Subscribe today by calling 1-800-811-2580.
Oh, thank you. Did you see anyone brought this?
Did you lose this?
Thanks for helping us.
No problem.
Is this your nurse? You're welcome.
We do anything for kids. Yet 1 in 5 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org.
Commitment. You need it to succeed on the farm. It's total dedication to the land, family, and community. It's more than a way to make a living. It's a way of life. You've had it since the first time you ran your hands through the soil, helped bale hay, or rode along in the combine. Your commitment. It's as strong as your family's trust, as honest as each long day you put in, and as pure as the opportunity that comes with every tomorrow. It's how we build our bins, with proven design, superior structural integrity, a lifetime warranty, and a promise to stand with you, no matter what storms come your way. The harvest will always be protected, so you can sell when it's right for you, your family, and your farm. Commitment. It's why we can say, there's nothing standard about superior.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Volatility in the markets, the increasing size of farms, and rapidly developing technology are some of the big changes farmers are facing. But those are also leading to more career opportunities for young people interested in ag. That was the message to a group of students at tomorrow's Top Hands. It's an event sponsored by the North Dakota Stockmen's Association. This year's theme was the Ag Employment Outlook. Although things have slowed down some in the current ag economy, experts say there will always be good jobs in the ag sector.
We still are going to have to figure out how to feed a growing population, and technology changes all the time, and farmers just can't do it by themselves. So there's all these service sector jobs that are still going to be there. The ag industry is still a really good place to find jobs.
I think the young people should start looking more globally than regional and start looking at other things in agriculture, because not just with the cows or the hogs or the dairy, there's other things in agriculture.
Miller says there are about 20,000 more open ag jobs than ag graduates. Well, thanks for joining us for this week's edition of AgweekTV. Remember, for all your ag news, go to agweek.com. We'll see you next week.